All right, this is brought to you by High Noon. Rundown. It is July 11th.
Close.
10.
That
10th.
counts.
Yeah, that
That
counts.
counts. If you're a tequila lover who's never satisfied with malt hard seltzer offerings, you're going to love the new High Noon tequila. Made with real tequila, real juice, clean finish because made with real Blanco tequila. Only 100 calories, gluten-free, no added sugar. Available in 4 bright flavors. Strawberry, lime, grapefruit, passion fruit. Look for them at Drizzly or at your local liquor store or visit highnoonspirits.com to find them near you. Let me see if there's another app. I know Austin's usually pretty good. The thing's at 12. He's like, your computer's not on 20 minutes ago. I went and did it, and then I went and sat down. It still wasn't fixed, and he's like, just sitting. Very dumb of him.
I got a question before we start. What's up with your tan, Dave? Doesn't look that great.
I don't know. I mean, it's the same. It can't be better, or else I'd literally have.
I think
cancer.
you've had better tans in the summer.
You've definitely been more tan. That's not chocolate chip cookie.
No,
That's
it's not.
chocolate chip at all.
And we're in July. Like I'm not saying it's a bad tan. I'm used to a level of tan from you that you haven't reached this summer.
This is pretty.
That's not, again, that's not.
Oh my god, dude, that's like.
I'm
That's
sorry.
not the day
His face got frozen so ugly. That was perfect.
But I'm just saying, I expect greatness.
I
out of
can't
you.
be more tan. I'm in the sun literally every day, and I put lotion on my face, but not on my body.
No,
so
well,
that's
there you go. That's probably the problem.
Well, no, I just showed you my body, so I don't.
Well, the face is all that matters.
I'm pretty happy with the tan, so I don't.
Okay,
I don't
if
know
you're
what to
happy,
say.
I'm happy.
I am happy. I don't really care how I look anymore. I'm getting fat, and it's it is
rich.
what it is.
You're rich. Doesn't matter.
I'm not going to do Ozempic though, although I am thinking about it.
I am gonna do it.
What? Why would you not do it? I thought for sure you were going to do it.
Needles and
Really?
I don't mean to.
Like needles at all.
No, I don't. I mean, I don't mean like Mike Rubin looks like a cancer patient. Like I don't want to look unnaturally skinny.
I think the thing is, a lot of people do Ozempic and they don't like work out too, so then they get like that, that face where it's like, dude, you just haven't been eating. Maybe if you start like push-up club back or sit-up club.
One a day.
I can't. I can do the sit-ups. Yeah, the push-ups. I tried to mix in a couple, but it's tough. But the Ozempic, I'm sure there's a lot of people I don't know who are on Ozempic, and it's like, oh, they look good. But then there's a lot of people like you're on Ozempic.
Dude, there are. I'm sure like the celebrities who have like teams who like know what they're doing, do it right, and then there's a bunch of assholes who get it and
that would be me.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna lose like 30 pounds in a month and then stop.
We would eat the same. We would not work out, and we would just stab ourselves.
Like you know what I mean? There's a lot of people on it, and they've definitely lost weight, but they don't look healthy.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So, anyways, into the rundown we go. We were off last week, so there's a lot of subjects.
Oh wait, real quick, just because I want to. I'm your brother in arms when it comes to this, Dave. I saw the picture you posted the other day in the T-shirt, and it's I don't get how it looks one way in person and then just looks so bad in pictures. And I'm not even knocking you because I'm in the same club. It's like I'm like, okay, I'm fine. And then I see a picture on Instagram. I'm like, get that off the internet.
Yeah, that was horrible. Jay showed me that. Snowden.
Oh,
I had dinner with him, and he was like, you met like my daughter's friends. And I'm like, oh, all right. He showed me the picture, and I was like, oh.
Wait, did he show it to you being like, look at your tits?
No. He's like, no. But he knew when I saw it. He's like, yeah, it's tough. So,
not great.
I mean, I had to ask him.
Getting ahead of it.
Yeah. I mean, it was tough. I mean, the good thing is, if you want to say good, I can go back and I find pictures like 2-3 years ago where I also look bad. So maybe I'm not looking as bad now. I've definitely put on, I mean, listen, there's no way to confuse the facts. I've had to fatify all my suits. Like I have all these fancy suits, and I had to have 1.5 to 2 inches taken out of the waist to get into them. So that there's no talking around that.
There's got to be
one.
There's got to be a couple of pairs. There's got to be a couple pairs of jeans that you've had to flat out retire, I'd imagine.
Yeah, the skinny jeans are kind of out.
I'm holding on to all my XL shirts, being like, I'll be back.
Dude, man, I don't know. I feel like you've probably been fighting this fight for a while. I went on a rant about it the other day. XL is not XL anymore.
No, they made it smaller.
It's like a medium. It's crazy.
Yep.
I compared. I have a shirt from like the '90s that's an XL, and it's like a fucking boat sail. And an XL these days, they just shifted on us.
They completely changed it.
I invested in this company that I'm wearing right now, and like my main things, it's like I told them, you got to make the necks tighter. I need tight necks, and I want to bring back like a large is a large. So
yes, large is large.
Yeah, that's a large.
This is a large.
Think about
originally they sent it to me, and this was a large.
That's also the problem, is that it's short. It's like you put your arms up.
Yeah, right.
It goes up to your fucking belly button.
Don't-
If you're a extra large human, that means you're fucking big. You're tall. You're fat. That's the people who should wear extra large. It's crazy how much we've shifted.
I will also say, as I'm going through like fatifying and all, I'm knocking on the door of 50. So like I look great.
You're
it's
actually,
just,
you know what you are? You're kind of like the golfer who hits the senior tour and he gets good again. You know what I mean? Because he's like the youngest.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If I wanted to like put me up versus people my age, and I generally look way better. Like all my Swampscott friends with 99% with kids and families, they look disgusting.
Also,
it's like, what's wrong with you?
You could just look at yourself from when you were like, blogging 12 times a day. Like that was you basically reversed time.
Yeah, I had a good run, but it's and in Montauk I don't really have a place I can a little with the walking. I got to get a treadmill. It's a little off. So yeah, I just got to watch what I eat and things. But I'm getting old. I mean, I'm getting old.
The best thing that can happen for you is turning 50. I think
where'd Dan go?
The lights went off in your office.
Fucking
the new office, baby.
That's my office. That's Pete. Pete's a fucking piece of shit.
That's gonna happen again.
If you're in your 40s, it's like, well, I don't know, he looks bad. But you have a 5 handle, it's like, oh, he looks good. So I'd almost start telling people you're 50.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that either. But yeah, it is what it is. It's what are you gonna do? All right. Speaking of these shirts, actually do look good. The Roback. I'm now looking at shirts that keep things together for me. So Roback Activewear, I can't go anywhere without seeing Roback. I actually met, I think, the guy who started it the other day. He came up to me in Montauk. Best fit, best feel. It is incredible. Again, it'll be summer, which means get ready with Roback. Nothing beats a performance hoodies, polos, and now they've introduced gym shorts, which we can't take off. The performance hoodies, legitimately the most comfortable hoodies we own. Unbeatable stretch, buttery soft material, make them perfect for a cool morning or night out, especially with the summer heat. The performance polos, that's what I've been wearing. We don't wear those polos all the time. Lately, I have been, but when we do, we love Roback. The polos are perfect for the hot summer day. Use the code RUN on roback.com for 20% off your first purchase. That's spelled RHOBACK.com. Trust us when we say you'll want to check out Roback to kick your summer off right.
The shorts are great. The shorts are great. I wear them every weekend. They have the zipper pocket for your keys. A must.
Yeah, those are like the new thing. All right, so into the topic. Some may be a couple days old because we weren't around. We'll start, so they're no in particular order, but the Britney versus Wemby, which is settled down, Wembanyama rivalry. It's a crazy story, Dan. I'm sure you didn't see what I wrote. I had the same exact Twitter thing as you. Like, what a headline when it first came out.
Oh, it's crazy, yeah.
Wembanyama's like security guard slaps Britney. Then the video comes out, and you can say there's nobody wrong because Britney looked like a crazy cat lady. Like, what, Kevin? You're already shaking your head.
I don't think I understand that Britney kind of ran up on him, but you don't just slap people in the face as a security guard. Everyone that's your job. It's like,
well,
no, it's
that's where you get into the gray area because they took her hand basically and slapped herself.
She
slapped herself.
I don't really think that happened. I think his hand hit her. I think her hand went down. I think his hand is what hit her.
Well, that's great, but there's video of it.
Yeah, I think it was.
I think her hand goes down and her face goes back. I don't think her.
He hit the. They slapped her hand.
He swiped up.
Yeah.
I
But-
think her hand went down, and whatever. Either way,
What will you do if you have a crazy cat lady running up behind the guy you're protecting? What are you supposed to do?
bro, we're acting like Victor Wembanyama is the president. Like, he's out in public. Fans are gonna come up on him. First of all,
No, you can't have crazy.
They said that he was being swarmed by fans and that Britney Spears grabbed him. So they're already lying, which makes it look bad. And
The
then
headline was wrong.
yeah,
Yes, it was a nothing burger. The whole thing was a nothing burger to me.
I don't think. I mean,
It's not a nothing burger because it's Britney.
Right. It's like your job is to
Well,
protect
yes.
them, but also not have a fucking tabloid incident because you just started. What if it was like an old lady? What if it was a little kid? Like, you're fucked. You can't just.
Well,
swing.
no, I don't think they do it to a little kid. An old lady does.
I mean, the guy blatantly said I didn't look at who it was. So, like,
It's
Yeah,
just
well,
do you really think that Victor Wembanyama was like in danger and needed his security to save him? We're in a fucking.
no,
mall
but I
where-
don't think they reacted that way. I thought they just were kind of like back off.
That's
Let me
that's-
tell you
he-
this.
He said I swung my hand without looking at who it was.
let me tell you.
I don't think that's your job as a security guard.
I can almost promise you, our security guard Mike, if somebody ran up behind me and I wasn't looking, would react in some physical manner to prevent that person from touching me. I almost can guarantee it.
Yes.
I really don't think, like, especially where fans do approach us. I do not think Mike
but-
would.
From behind, yeah,
They
he
don't
would just
run
put out
up.
his
They don't.
hand.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
run up like
I
that
think
from behind.
I mean, a little girl, a small girl, like walking up to tap you on the shoulder. I think Mike would have stepped in between you. I think
Yeah,
Mike could have
small
put his hands on
girl.
her in some way. I don't think you'd have an incident.
Brittany was running up like a crazy cat lady.
She's got that vibe. She's got that energy.
She
The,
does.
Either way, the whole thing is so funny because it's like this dude has been in America for 2 weeks, and this is his welcome to America. That headline, Dave, that you're talking about, like that's just gotta suck to be like,
Oh,
I
I'm
did
telling you
nothing.
this. They don't stop either. He,
No.
like, right or wrong, what he needs to do is, like, take her out to dinner and apologize, because they will literally do this. What they did to him his first summer league game, where
Yeah,
everything
well.
on the internet was just clowning him. That will be the rest of his. He's like 18 years old. He'll be 40 years old, and they'll still be going after him. Brittany does not stop.
And he seems like a fairly nice guy, like down to earth. Like he says all the right things, but he's in a war with Brittany. I'm here for it. I don't know what I think of this guy. He played a little better. It's obviously so early, but I'm on the bus train. I've been on the bus train. I've been on the bus train since he got drafted. He's so fucking skinny.
Yeah.
Now he says he's 3 months. He's gonna hit the gym, come back, but we'll see. This video all time, the guy at a baseball game, he's complaining. He tries to run down the aisle to get to the ump, I guess, and he tore all his CLs, MCL, ACL, straight pup.
I watched this video probably 100 times. I know that makes me sick. I've been out very open about the fact that if you show me an injury video, I will watch it. It doesn't go worse quicker than what happened to this guy. His knees, that picture of his knees just popping out of like the skin. And then to have to like be the tough guy yelling in a like no one's around, to then having to get. Did you see part 2 where they had the stretcher out for him and everything?
No, I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
they had to do the stretcher in the fucking stadium to get him out. It was incredible.
Dude,
This is tough.
that I'm not kidding. That guy's life is probably ruined. Like that is like you never recover. You never walk again.
He's
gonna get
paralyzed. He's
drugs.
paralyzed.
Yeah, he's paralyzed. Like he
Yeah.
might end up legitimately dead, and it's from that incident.
And it is the combo of like how he got injured, going to like
Yeah, what
argue
he
like
was
ball
doing.
and strikes at like empty youth baseball game.
That was the only thing that kept it from being a 10 out of 10 video. I needed a pan to the field and have it be like 8-year-olds, like
Yeah.
coach pitch and shit. Like that
Yeah.
would have made it the best video of all time.
I didn't know about the stretcher. I think in that moment, if you told me like you could just shoot yourself in the head and be done with it, or we have to wait for the stretcher to come get you, I think I would take the gun.
No, you need like a horse. Yeah, you need the curtain and just be like, it's over.
Just put me down.
I'm trying to think what I think your only option, if you're him, everything's lost, is you just got to continue arguing. You got to all the way throughout be like, Blue, that was outside.
No, you got to blame the ump. You like, see what you just did? You made me hurt my knees. Nobody, Dave, it literally is like a horse injury where when a horse dies on the track, they're like they say it broke down. That's what happened to him. He broke down. His body broke down.
That is it's Vince McMahon popping his quads running into the Rumble. He's got to just sit there and keep on going. Like the show must go on.
Jonah Hill was in the news because he broke up with his girlfriend. I saw, Kevin, you did your Minuteman on this. I didn't see where you were at. It basically, she's like, Jonah Hill is a controlling boyfriend, emotional abuse, and then she puts text that he had to her, and I essentially, he's like, here's this is how his supporters will spin. He's trying to do the boundaries of the relationship. Like you can't. Is she a pro surfer?
I don't know.
I think she does it. Whether or not she does competitions and stuff. So, she's a model and a surfer, and he doesn't like that she's a model and a surfer, basically.
Yeah. So get the surfing videos, the bikinis, have no more relationships with guys, no more hanging out with your crazy ex-girlfriends, all these things. And if you can't do that, we got to break up. What side are you on, Kevin? I'll start with you.
Well, a couple things. I think this girl also had other posts that said she is type 1 bipolar and anxiety and depression and stuff. So I think we're looking at two people who have a lot of issues and do therapy. And I think Jonah looks like an asshole. I think that if you date a model and a surfer and then you get mad at her for wearing a bikini, you kind of look like immature about it. I think you have every right to be like, this makes me uncomfortable, but then you just break up with her. You can't tell her to change everything. And then my number one thing, I fucking hate this. The mental health pendulum has swung so far. When all you're doing is parroting your therapist, and you're like, these are my
I'm lost. Well, I didn't. What does the therapist have to do with this?
Every text is my therapist says that these are my emotional boundaries and my mental bandwidth, and that you need to respect the blah 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 blah. And it's all
who's saying that, Jonah or the girl?
Jonah Hill. Yeah.
Got it.
And so he's basically saying, my therapist says if you can't do all this for me, then we shouldn't be together. That's all. Then break up with her. Don't make her change. I just hate the mental health thing. It's just they just throw out buzzwords and vocab they learn from these fucking therapists who, how the fuck do they know what's going on in your life? I do think that I don't condone posting texts and airing relationship stuff out because I think stuff gets weird. I think she probably has some of her own issues. I hate the mental health stuff, but I think in the end, you look like an asshole if you're complaining about a girl's bathing suit and what boys she can hang out with at the beach. I mean, you sound like you're in 8th grade, legitimately.
Yeah. So I agree with everything you said. She was doing all this before they started dating.
That's
so,
that's the part that's crazy to me. You can't date a surfer and then be like, don't post surfing videos. That's a weird thing.
And the pictures that she posted that she had to take down were very tame. They weren't anything.
It's literally her surfing. He's sending screenshots of a girl on a surfboard. If it was you're in the club and you're shaking your ass and you're making out with dudes and you're cheating on me and blah, blah, blah. She's a surfer who's surfing. And then the kicker is he had that documentary about his therapist. And it's the whole time you were talking to your therapist about your girlfriend's bathing suits and you thought he was good enough to put out a Netflix documentary? Fuck off.
Yeah, I gotta go on overall. He's just wildly insecure. You like it, then you date this
sense.
Person. Yeah, right.
But doesn't
very fat?
I guess that.
Yeah, but here's the one thing.
He's become a clothing icon. He's the cool guy, and you can't even have a girlfriend who wears a fucking bathing suit.
And the thing about the boundaries that I'll say though, where the people that's fair to have certain boundaries, and I do think that's fair. But if those are your complaints, those boundaries are never. Those are going to be sliding boundaries. If she does that, it's not stopping there. It's just going to be the next thing, the next thing, because he's just insecure in the relationship.
He'll move that till she just stays in the house and never talks to anybody and never posts a picture ever again.
Correct.
It's also not his boundaries; it's boundaries for her, which is different.
Right.
That's using the word incorrectly. He's basically being these are your boundaries that I need you to abide by. The only thing that makes me a little nervous about this whole thing, and I don't know, I just saw a tweet, so this is also bad reporting by me. But apparently, those were 2 years old, and also Jonah Hill just had a baby with his now current girlfriend.
That
feels like interesting timing.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
That part makes me feel a little like,
I thought they just broke up like 2 days
That's
ago.
what I thought, Dave.
No.
And I was like, that made me be like, wait, hold on a second. What's going on?
She had a comment that was like, someone was like, why did you post this like 2 years later? And she was like, I'm just sick of people coming up to me, talking to me about how great Jonah Hill is. And I decided to let these fly. That's what I'm saying.
And I'm on his side.
That hurt, Dave. I know.
I'm not on his side condoning it, but if he just had a baby with another woman,
and then she released it. That the timing is what's the Michael Scott? The timing is predominant.
Yeah, that is.
Like, and if for no other reason than for the fucking kid, like he can be an asshole, but you can't like.
Big fact.
If you wanted to
That's
air
a huge fact.
You missed your fucking shot. You missed your window. You know.
I was with everything you guys said, and when I was watching this all unfold, and then when I saw the 2 years, he just announced he had a baby. I was like, that feels like
tough.
Something is up here.
Yeah, no,
but also I'm sure that like. When he's been horrible to you and everything in the news, like, look at Jonah Hill, he's such a great dad and a baby and this and that, and you're like, he's a fucking monster. But that's why I said like that's part of relationships. You get like that chick goes bad.
Do you not have internet at your house, or is that
what happens?
Who has no internet? Who has no internet? Me or you?
I think it's Kevin. I was waiting for Dave to get mad. Kevin,
do you have no internet?
Up a couple times.
I don't know. I have I have full internet here. I have had problems, but it says full internet now.
Then you still got problems. If there's nothing I've learned in 20 years of doing this, if at some point you don't have internet,
you never have internet.
You never have internet. If there's it's like you. It's you.
The one last thing about this is that the one thing I will side with her on is that Jonah Hill is like outwardly like, I'm a feminist, like, you know, you can't do that feels very duplicitous. Like, it's always, there we go, we talk about it all the time.
I fucking hate Pete.
The people who yell the loudest about like how great they are usually have something like this like going on personally, where it's like, dude, you can't just like walk around and say you're the biggest feminist and all this stuff and then treat women like this.
Are we just going darkness?
Yeah, I was going to say, just
whatever. I don't give a fuck.
I have to stand up every time.
Yeah, it's a movement sensor. That's what I've been doing in my office the entire time. He put me in the closet with no fucking anything.
Between my internet and your lights, this is an old school rundown. People are going to love it.
I will say, we've gone over it. It all boils down to the man is insecure. Like, if you're not insecure, you don't have those things. Now, the woman, the second he's like, take the fucking surfing pictures off, she'd be like, hit the road, Jack.
Right.
But, you know, it is what it is, and maybe that's when that's why I was saying it would be a sliding scale. I don't even know what we're talking about. 2 years ago, he had a baby. Let's move on. Joey Chestnut, Joey Jaws. Every year it's something with this guy. The hot dog thing should be a simple event where he eats a quadrillion hot dogs. He gets his shine for the day, and we move on. But for a hot dog guy, he's turned into a true American icon. First, the Kobayashi defeating him. Last year, it was the protesters. He put the guy in a headlock and, like, beat him up in the middle of eating. This year, ESPN, they try to cancel it. He's the only guy who keeps it going. Him going out to pump up the crowd, his little jump, run, walk. He's such an unsuspecting hero. Like, he's just there to eat hot dogs. He's not there to put the entire country on his back, but he seems to do it every year.
He is now this last one vaulted him into great American status. Like if you think of greatest Americans, he has to be in that first list of greatest Americans. He saved 4th of July. Like, I don't think people realize how important watching Joey Chestnut stuff his face with hot dogs and then being like, all right, now it's our turn to go barbecue. Like, that is 4th of July. He's become an institution. And it's almost like when Madden like made like football on Thanksgiving and like, you know, turkeys, like that's what we do on 4th of July. He's the best. He's a great American. I think they were trying to fucking cool him down because he's talked, we had him on PMT. He's talked a lot about the buns, and when they get stale, they're harder to eat. I think they were trying to I don't think there was lightning.
It sounded as though he was gonna. He basically said to ESPN in a way, like, we're doing this.
That would have been. That's what I wanted. I wanted like his phone on Instagram, and the 10 guys are still out there.
Yeah, because like we're doing it. The guys are ready to fucking go. If you don't want to cover it, we're fucking going. And he put them in a box.
Isn't it the most like? There was a little bit of rain, right? Like they were like, we have to shut it down because of lightning. In this like 10-minute window, you think people are gonna get struck by fucking lightning? Do the goddamn contest and be done with it. It's such an and for your one event per year too. Like you were willing to just shut that down.
Did you see Ravel take credit for the whole thing?
Oh,
what did he say?
It was his idea.
Yeah, he created the whole thing. He also was crickets.
The dog eating contest was his idea, or
yeah, pretty much. I think it maybe was going on, and he implied, and who knows, that he was the one who convinced ESPN and told ESPN they had to cover it. And he does have a picture of him covering it in the early days. But he basically penned a tweet essentially like, thank God I created the 4th of July hot dog contest.
Yeah. He also was he did for the Northwestern thing. He was like, I've known Pat Fitzgerald for 27 years, close personal friend, which is fine, but he doesn't do that with anyone else.
No.
The minute he'll write any bad headline about anyone else,
especially with hazing, because he's the victim of hazing. He was somebody who was born to be on the inside of a locker. Like, I mean, you hazed him and he almost cried, Dan, during that.
Remember Kevin had a to do with him where he was like, he was like, you guys created this toxic place on the internet.
The worst. And honestly, if there are two diametrically opposed people, Joey Chestnut never tries to capitalize. He's not like on TV. He doesn't write books. He just shows up one day a year, does his thing. We love him for it, and it's awesome. And Darren Ravel's the guy who tried, like, everything that is cool, he ruins. They are like could not be further apart.
Threads. So I don't think we've talked about this as group. Instagram Threads. I joined. I haven't threaded. Are you guys threading? I think, Dan, you are, right?
So Threads, it was perfect by Zuck because he picked a time when no one's doing anything and everyone's sitting around.
And Elon was fucking around with Twitter.
Yeah, I did it for like, exactly.
Today, all that shit.
Yeah, when Elon was breaking Twitter, I did it for about 2 days and I'm out. I'm done.
Dude, it sucks. It's so like PR, you know. It's like Twitter was Twitter. It's real, and especially back in the day, it was real because it was just like regular people talking shit. This is all just companies and brands and celebrities and social media managers being like, hey, I'm new to Threads. Like, what's your favorite meal? It's like, shut the fuck up. It's awful.
So Elon is threatening to sue Zuckerberg. Then he calls Zuckerberg a cuck. His latest one is he wants a legitimate dick measuring contest. Yeah. Now, here's my issue with it. And this is going to sound like, oh, Dave, you're so, like, moral police or whatever. The reason I'm not moral police, that's not the right word. Like, I don't care about a lot. If Threads took off and Zuckerberg has, like, the new Twitter, Threads, Instagram, and Facebook, he basically controls all the media.
Dave,
and by the way,
crazy.
He has shown no hesitation problem with manipulating it, selling your information, being a scumbag. So it would be like back in like 30 years ago, he controls ABC, CBS, and NBC. All the information's come from Zuck.
It's insane. And the people who are like, I'm leaving Twitter to go to Threads because I'm anti-Elon, not realizing that they're the same people 6 years ago that were like, Zuckerberg rigged their election and Zuckerberg did this. What the fuck are we talking about? Why are you doing this?
Dude, Zuckerberg was in front of Congress like every day for years on end.
By the way,
he's a good guy. How is that possible?
You know why though? I tell you why. It's because he's the nerd, and Elon is like, you know, he leans a little right. He makes jokes. Zuckerberg's always just a quiet nerd who people think is something that he's really not. He's actually the bad guy, but they think he's like...
He is who he is in the social network. By the way, Threads in Europe is illegal, banned. You can't do it for that very reason. Like, it's a monopoly. You literally, I don't know. It's the same exact people, like you're saying, who control about Elon. At least, like, by the way, the shadow banning on Instagram is by far the worst of any platform there is. You're just going to give literally everything to Zuckerberg.
It's
but
insane.
at the same time,
it's insane.
At the same time, what would I guess you would say you're not allowed to have a text-based element of your app? Because that's
he already has that, but he's trying to mimic Twitter.
Yeah,
like, pretty much exactly.
Like,
and
how can you stop it if it's just like?
No, I don't mind that. But what they're saying is like, if he did the text, I think is very different. If you incorporate that into Instagram, it's not as easy.
A whole separate thing.
Yeah, and when you talk Monopoly, the barrier to entry, he has these two monster. By the way, I think WhatsApp he owns too, but he has so he can just start whatever he wants and do whatever he wants.
Well, that's what he's done. I mean, he did it like when Snapchat started their thing. He did things that were similar to Snapchat. When TikTok started, he did things similar to TikTok. It's like I guess
those haven't to me, when he adds features to the existing, hasn't changed the existing. Like, people go to Instagram for Instagram, people go to Facebook for Facebook. This is like a totally different app, but he's used Instagram to just link into it with that huge advantage. I don't know. Again, I know there's a lot of people who hate Elon. If you're rooting for Threads. If you're rooting for Threads to kick out Twitter, you're an insane person.
Insane. That's the thing.
Elon, you should just be anti.
This guy,
they're the same amount of bad.
It is insane. The people who are like anti-Elon, I'm going to Threads. It's nicer. It's like, dude, you can't even. You can't. If you want to delete your Threads, it deletes your Instagram account too. Like, he owns everything.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And again,
and also we should say shout out to our guy Gaz, because he worked hard on Threads.
Unbelievable.
We saw that email when he forgot to take out the word "we" when talking about he literally copied and pasted FAQs.
48 hours earlier, walking out of fucking the chicken box or space at 3 a.m, just dusts off that thing, folds his book.
But he didn't write it.
I know, but in his mind, he's like, I'm done for the week. Like, I did my job. Unbelievable.
That email, when he thought, like, one of the questions was, is Threads available in other countries? And he tried to pass that off as something that we would be like, why the fuck would anybody at Barstool be asking that, Gaz? That was an all-time Gaz move.
That's a guy that had
you created a monster in Gaz. This is all your fault. He basically runs the company now, Dave.
How?
Literally everything I do, if I talk to sales, if I talk to social, if I talk to management, everything at the end goes, you got to talk to Gaz first.
And good luck reaching him. He's drunk, passed out.
Gaz runs the media.
It's crazy.
It is good, though, Kevin. You just got to do the reverse, because whenever anyone asks me a question, I'm just like, talk to Gaz.
Our guy, Danny, Bobby Huggins, just a flat George Costanza move here. Just absolutely being like, I never resigned. Like, give me my job back. My wife sent the text. We like Bobby Huggins, but this is one of the most bizarre. I spit my coffee out. I wasn't drinking when I saw that headline. Bobby Huggins said he never resigned. It's like, what are you talking about?
He also got a big pay decrease after the radio thing.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to just coach West Virginia this year for $1. Like, I think he's going to be like, I'm coaching him. I don't give a fuck. Like, dock all my pay. Well, I mean, the wife sent the email. I love it. It's great.
Unbelievable. It's like a full-blown apology thing he had. It just, to be like, I never did that. Unreal.
It's too celebrated for him. It really is Costanza. It's like, but also, if we've learned anything about the world the last few years, just fucking stick to that story and deny. It'll probably work out.
Of all people, I believe Bob Huggins here, because he probably was like, if I imagine, he probably was sitting at home and his wife was like, what are you going to do? And she's like, you should probably apologize. And he's like, no, I'm not apologizing. She's like, fine, I'll fucking send it.
Or there's a chance he just doesn't text. Like, he doesn't strike me. So he may have been like typed, so it came from her phone. Who knows?
I could, if he said, I never like wanted to do any of that and I was forced into it,
No, he
But
said
to say
he
I could just never, that's next level.
Never said that.
Imagine being the West Virginia like president or admin who first saw that, be like, what is this? Like he's saying he never resigned. Moving into Trump. This video.
Everybody wants a blizzard. What the hell is a blizzard? What is a blizzard? And take care of some people, okay? Will you take care of them for me? I will do the blizzard thing, all right?
Now, this is where I got to say the Trump people are unfair. Because if Joe Biden was in Dairy Queen and was like, I don't know what a blizzard is, he would be getting crucified. I haven't seen that much on Trump, but what planet do you have to live on to have absolutely no idea what a blizzard is at DQ? I actually think 100% of Americans know what a blizzard is at DQ. He had no idea. What the hell is a blizzard? Yeah. Shocking.
It's especially shocking because I'm pretty sure he's a fast food guy. Like, doesn't he love?
You think Donald Trump's been to a Dairy Queen before?
But doesn't he love McDonald's?
He definitely he hasn't.
That's what I mean.
Who hasn't been to a Dairy Queen?
I think he lives
at his age. Like
level.
Maybe if you're under 12, but Dairy Queens.
Now, there's another side to this story. Like I was sitting there being like, I wish I was Donald Trump right now because imagine finding out about a Dairy blizzard.
A blizzard
like that's
at this
the greatest
stage.
day of your life.
Yeah,
like,
no. Not at our Dairy Queen. The Dairy Queen blizzard is one of those things that you have to go cold turkey. You start eating DQs, and you can't stop. Like
one a day.
When I was in, when I was my Butterfinger, Oreo, and the nuts. Those were my three. But when I lived in Abington, there was one 10 minutes away, and I mean, it was an everyday go to DQ to you. Like, you just got to stop.
You become addicted. It's an addictive thing. It actually reminded me of, did you guys remember? It was very under the radar story, but one of those hilarious Twitter things. Nick Van Exel found out about iced coffee like 2 years ago, and he was just like, why has no one told me about iced coffee? And he started like every day be like, drinking my iced coffee, can't believe this exists.
Yeah.
Like that's what Trump now gets to do. He gets to be like, I'm having a blizzard. This is only my third blizzard of my life. Oh my God, my life is now incredible.
Crazy to never hear of a blizzard.
That's like the people who are like, I never watched Breaking Bad or something like that, and they get to start from episode 1. Donald Trump just has a whole new life of blizzard.
It's so crazy that like if you had like, let's say you had like someone from Europe come and stay with you for like a month in the summer, I think like day 2, I'd be like, you got to try this.
The DQ blizzard is, and especially at his age, because even for us, I feel like we caught the tail end of the I feel like DQs were like in the 70s. Like all there was. All right. We got an airport meltdown showdown. We have the woman on the plane who gets off saying somebody was not a real person.
Telling you right now, that motherfucker back there is not real.
Which that video, that would have made me more uncomfortable. I'm
off that plane.
That is a tough video.
There's just unless you're flying somewhere and it's like a life or death situation, just get off that plane and get another flight a few hours later. That's just
the worst position ever to be put on. That someone's saying that's no different than that person has a bomb. I know it.
Right.
And walking off the plane. Like just a terrible thing. And then we got this other video. It's not funny, but it's funny. Lady's being restrained. I'm not sure where, by like 6 cops. And she's like, kiss me. Who's the top dog here? Who's the alpha? Who will kiss me? You won't kiss me.
Come on, kiss me. Kiss me. And tell me who's the head honcho here. What, I'm not hot enough for you? I'm not hot enough? I'm not sexy enough? I'm just spit on you.
I mean, clearly is disturbed, but it was funny watching her just screaming.
He hocked a loogie on him, too.
I know. That wasn't...
Well, she's self-aware, though, when she was like, what is it, because I'm not pretty enough? I'm not pretty enough?
It was crazy. It was a very funny video.
The lady on the plane, I love the conspiracy theorists, though, are like, she's missing now. Like, well, no shit. She doesn't want to she just went viral for screaming on a plane. No shit. She doesn't want to be, like, out in public. And then also the people were like, did you notice that everyone looked back like something was going on? It's like, dude, if a woman stands up on a plane and go, that guy's not real, everyone's gonna look.
Yeah, right.
Everyone.
And by the way, the fact that that's not real guy didn't do more to be like, I'm
No,
real.
he's not
like,
real. He is not real.
Like,
He's
yeah,
not
like,
real.
hey, I'm normal. You owe that to the rest of the plane. He just
No,
sat
he
there
was not
acting
real.
like a not real guy.
Yeah.
They showed the picture. He did nothing to indicate that he was real. He looked like this is normal. It could have been a robot. So again, if you're being outed as a not real guy, do anything. Be like, I'm real. I watched the Red Sox last night. He just sat there being not real.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, like every single flight in America has been canceled for like a month straight. So something's going on in the airlines, and that would not make me feel any better about it. So somebody's got to come out and tell me what's going on, in the skies.
She also was hot.
Yeah, she wasn't bad looking.
I mean, the crazy part like kind of adds to it where you're like, whoa, what's going on here?
I told Kevin this, I think, at Frankie's wedding, but my new favorite pastime in the world, my favorite thing to do is just hate read Nate's tweets of him suffering and nobody and getting
suffering
and
no
no interaction on his poker tweets. I love it. I saw Feidelberg after we talked about it. He was right. He's like, there every time Nate tweets, there should be a wump wump sound. Like, it's unbelievable that like he whether he shattered his foot, getting busted on a bad beat in Vegas.
What about the passport? The passport went on for like a week and a half.
He didn't have a pat. You're right.
He's like not an American citizen anymore. He's like no longer a part of the country.
That last one is like, my flight was delayed 8 hours in Vegas. We just took off, just landed back in Vegas. Like, I get so happy. I can't explain it. The more misfortune he has, the more he tweets and there's like one interaction and it's been up for 5 hours. I love it. There is something about, I'm addicted to his misfortune right now. And there's lots of it. There's just like a never-ending stream of Nate, and I just picture his mannerisms like, oh, well, like, poor Nate dog. So, yeah, I love it. I love it. That was after show. We got the new office. Frankie got married. That's about it. Anything else?
I golfed with Bosco.
I saw that. I think I chirped him. That was on a Tuesday, right?
Wednesday, yeah.
Wednesday.
He's an interesting cat to golf with. Good times, but I don't think anyone understands distance less than Rico Bosco. He's the king of like, I shouldn't hit, I can hit them. And it's like, dude, they're like 400 yards away. He had one hole where it was like 275 to a creek, and he's like, I shouldn't hit driver. Jerry and I were like, we'll give you $400 cash each if you hit driver and hit this creek. He was like 100 yards short.
It's like weird haircut Seth shit.
Yeah. He's also, I don't know how many times he's going to thank Phil Steele. Is that the guy's name? He's in some Phil Steele mag. He's
the weirdest thing. Phil Steele just has a list. So Kevin, this guy, he does a college football. It's a good preview. He does a big magazine. At the end of the magazine, he has a list of verified people who follow Phil Steele. He's literally just being like,
is that what it is?
Yes, Steve.
I thought
it's not like follow this guy for more insight.
No, it's like, look at all the people who follow me.
And Rico has thanked him 8 times. I've seen it like, thank you, Phil Steele, for putting him on his list. Dead serious. I think he thinks it's like these are good follows.
Yeah. No, it's people who follow Phil Steele.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's tough.
All right.
I had fun playing with Bosco though, because he's gonna obviously be upset I said anything. It was a fun time with him.
Wait, Dave, thoughts on the new office not having outlets where all the bloggers need to plug in their computers?
I saw that from John Rich. I mean,
par for the course, right?
Perfect.
I mean that not joking, that can ruin the company. I mean, you have to be able to charge your computer.
I keep walking up to Frank.
So what are they doing, by the way, to fix that?
I think they're gonna have outlets. I think.
I mean, but I don't think, to do that kind of shit, you have to like wire. It's not just like plug a fucking outlet into the wall. You got to do a lot of shit for that.
Insane.
Yeah. I keep walking up to Frank and just whispering to Frank, being like, "They're trying to squeeze you out, Frank," because he's got to sit on a couch now. But I think that whoever built it was smart enough. They put NFL Blitz and an NBA Jam So he's happy. He's good.
I saw the channel. I was in the office a couple of weeks ago. I was in the office without really knowing what was going on. It was a disaster scene. My office was a shit show. But all right, I think that's it. That's everything.
All right, good rundown. See you guys.